The next thing we're going to talk about is Nighthawk Customs iOS cut, specifically this right here. Nighthawk Custom was established in 2004. Two of the premier models that they offered were known as the Talon and the GRP. I remember this vividly because their gun was on a cover, and I cannot remember what handgun magazine it was, but it was a Talon. It had a blued slide, a stainless frame, a bull barrel. It was just a very sexy gun. So when you look at Nighthawk's lineup now, there are a ton of different models with a lot of different features. Well, back then it took me probably a year, so probably call it 2005, stashing money away, hiding it from my training wife back then, and I ended up purchasing that exact gun. It was badass. So the iOS cut wasn't available until 2019. Now, this right here is a 10 millimeter Talon, and I just recently sent it off to them because I purchased this particular gun back in 2012, and at 2012 they didn't offer any type of optic cut whatsoever. So that's what we're going to kind of break down right now, is this particular feature that they offer. And they offer it not just on their guns, but they offer it on customer supplied guns as well. So 2019 rolls around, Nighthawk creates the iOS system, which stands for Interchangeable System. And what this does is it lets you do a few things. One, you can go from irons to an optic. Some people, if provided the option, do like to play around with irons. I know it may sound weird to some people. I still like irons as well. And with this interchangeable system, it does allow you to either go from an optic and run that for a while, or go back to irons. And this is generally something a little unique out in the community, because most other manufacturers, once they cut your slide, that's it, it's done. And the other thing is, if you later decide to change your mind, like I have, as optics have not grown, but as optics have changed in the community for the better. So for me right now, if I can, I like more closed emitters than I do open emitters. So once you get that particular cut on your gun, it's there for life, so to speak. With their system, if later down the road you decide to change your mind on the particular optic that you're running, all you got to do is get another plate and you're back in business. And I think what this is offering to the community, to the buyer, I think is a really big deal. Let's first cover and you can get on their website there. If you have some weird brand or something like that, I don't keep track of all this stuff, right? So just get on their website and see what they offer, but I'll kind of give you a dirty version of it. They do a 509 cut. They do a EPS cut, which I believe is on an RMSC plate. They do a Delta Point Pro. They do the Acro. They do an SRO, and then of course anything that has an RMR style footprint. So that's what they offer. Again, call them up if you have something made from some other type of manufacturer and you're not really sure. Again, the interchangeable system, and I think this is where a lot gets lost. So what I mean by that is, you can get on their website and order a gun, and you can get this particular system on the gun that you order. But I think a lot of people don't realize that Nighthawk has a custom shop. So if you have a Colt, if you have any other style of firearm, Springfields to, other custom manufacturers, you can send that gun into Nighthawk Custom and they can put that cut on the gun for you. Let's look at how complicated this system is. The first thing that you'll notice right here is that there's a hole for the Allen right here. And there's also a cross pin bolt that goes through. So what you end up doing is you put the pin in and then you just tighten this up. To take it off, you'll undo your Allen right here and you'll just take a punch and you'll punch your pin out and the plate comes off. And this is what it looks like. You can see it goes from big all the way down to narrow, and to put it on and install it, it's that simple right there. I mean, this is not even a 5-minute job. So on this particular version, because of the Optic being a hollow sun, I believe it's a 508, it's running a iron in the front of this particular plate right here. On this 10 millimeter, because I'm running a 509, so it's a little bit larger optic, I don't have a rear sight. Now, me personally, I don't care and I don't want one. I just need the front sight to give an index out of the holster, which is what I'm used to. That's the way I like to do business. You'll also see, since they took this 10 mil, I love guns that, and when I order them, I generally like race lines down the front, especially back in the day when I was running irons. And you can even see that with this particular cut, how nice it is. I mean, that is a nice clean cut that they did on a gun that already had work done to the top of the slide that went all the way to the rear as well. We're going to go into a couple of different attributes as well, specific about this iOS cut. One of the things that I liked right off the bat when I saw that they were doing this particular cut was that is a standard front sight. Again, standard front sight. That I like. I don't like when you've got this huge blade up on the front just to try to get a low witness with a rear sight at the back, right? And what can happen sometimes is I notice that it starts to get cluttered, and I don't like. The whole reason why I'm running an Optic is for the enhanced ability to take a more precise shot, or maybe a little bit longer shot than I would with a set of irons, because I've got a lot looking through the window. So the last thing I want to do is clutter it up. Now, they do this on standard 1911s. They do it on 2011s as well. One of the things that I noticed was the repeatability. Because the way this is designed right here, it allows for a really good repeatability of 0. It's extremely durable. Again, the mounting always repeats. So cross pin, Allen through the center. If today I was to order a new gun from Nighthawk, I would always order the gun with this particular cut. Even if I'm a little unsure and I'm not a real, let's just say an Optic guy, I don't envision myself ever running an Optic. My eyes are great. Well, when you get old, your eyes start to degrade, right? So to have the ability later to change it and to be able to do it at a really easy user level, and also change optics down the road. I mean, if you wanted to, I don't know why, but you could be running this Optic and I guess change it out to an acro if that's what you wanted. I don't know why you would want to have a stable of optics that you just randomly throw on your gun. But for me to be able to run from irons to optics, or later down the road as optics evolve, go to a newer style optic, I think that's a really big deal. I think Nighthawk hit a home run with this. Again, if you were to order a gun, I know it costs a little bit extra money, but I would order with this particular cut. And don't forget, if you already have a 1911 or 2011, send it to them and pick your optic, pick your flavor, pick your poison.